Hey guys, it's Adventure. Welcome back to the channel, and let's check out today's local legend 18, the Westland Scout. Now this comes to us from inbuild and is available alongside the UK and Ireland update. We're down here in Gibraltar because it technically counts, and I've never flown here, so why not? Now we'll have a quick look around the Scout and the Wasp. Now in the sim terms, they are essentially the same. One has landing gear, the Wasp. That's the Royal Navy variant. The Scout has landing gear with two wheels for essentially manoeuvring it into a hangar. But they're essentially both a similar type of aircraft in that they are 4-seat, single engine helicopters from the 1960s, developed for the British Royal Navy and the Army. They were developed from originally a Saunders Row project, which is of course the P531, and those developed for the Army Air Corps and of course for the Royal Navy. Now these also served with the Royal Australian Navy, the Jordanian Air Force and the South African Air Force, and Malaysia. They retired from active service in 1994, and I believe they served up until 2000 with the Malaysians. So quite a fun little bit of fact there. They are, like I said, a single engine helicopter. And if we look at the Scout specifications, crew of 1 or 2, passengers 4 or 5, if you really struggled, 1,500 pounds of slung load capability, powered by one Rolls-Royce Nimbus turboshaft engine. Now, if we were to look at, for example, the Wasp, specification-wise, same Nimbus, same sort of performance, up to 4 passengers, and we've got the same capabilities there. They're essentially the same aircraft. One was anti-submarine warfare, one was a scout aircraft. So, they serve similar purposes. Right, let's take a look inside here, shall we? Now, inbuild's developed this, and I will say, it looks like it smells funny, which is a key indication of doing an accurate rendition of a British aircraft. British aircraft smell funny. I don't know what it is, but they smell funny. This one looks like it smells weird. And of course, we've got door handles. Everyone loves door handles. We could open doors with them. A useful feature, in fact. Now, we do have down here, of course, our transponders, our ADF, and our radios. They're vintage coffee grinder style. We do have the ARM selector panels, which are not included, because it's a marketplace release, and therefore, there are no weapons. But that's where it would have been. Now, this is, you can tell 60s technology. Everything's very, very antiquated here. We're going to go through our checklists and get this thing operational and take it for a fly. So our flight controls are good and clear. We already know that. The throttle is closed. Should be for me down here. We'll go to hydraulic power, which is of course there. So hydraulic power is on. High pressure fuel lever is here. Low pressure fuel lever is there. Circuit breakers all in. Those are in. All set and correct. Bus bars are split. They are indeed split. Altimeter is set. Which in our case will be, where are you? Here. And looks good to me. Instruments are good, so engine start will be ignition switch test. Okay, so ignition to off, it is now. Check fuel collective down, rotor's clear, rotor brake off. Our rotor brake is down here, by the way. Down is off there. So starter to on. Ignition to normal. And our blades start to turn. And here goes the engine. Sounds like a bucket of bolts starting up, doesn't it? But I promise you it's not. I love the detailing here, including the flywheel there on the end of the engine actually turning. So it's nice to see actual parts on this exposed engine actually functioning. And the sim does not like this at all. Apparently it's Gibraltar. Oh my god, hello. Okay, let's give it some throttle here. Now, you'll notice once we have our batteries to flight generator on, battery to flight, generator to on, you'll notice our generator here, once we go to full on our throttle, watch it bounce back down again as the aircraft's governor takes over, and our rotor RPM will settle correctly where it needs to be. Oh, hello. My collective was up partially. Do excuse me there. My collective was partly up when I'd nudged that, so we started doing a bit of a donut, but that's fine. Okay, so everything's looking fine here. Got a warning from there. I'm seeing no indications of any issues currently. Everything's looking within range. So we're going to lift off here. A little bit of pedal to compensate for this. We'll turn around. And there's the rock here at Gibraltar. We'll go that way. Yeah, it definitely looks like it smells funny, this helicopter. I'm all on board with funny smelling helicopters, but this one takes a biscuit. Lifting across here. Of course, there's a cemetery. I wonder if they've actually modelled the gun emplacements in the face of the rock. We'll have to see as we come around. Let's come around here. So she's flying pretty nicely so far. No major handling quirks that I've noticed in this. It's fairly well behaved. Very gentle flight model. Not sure if it's authentic or not. I'm not an expert in that regard, but it definitely behaves itself. Ah, maybe we can reenact one of the Timothy Dalton Bond films up here on the rock. I forget the one that starts out with the SAS on Gibraltar. Is it Living Daylights? Might be Living Daylights. There's Gibraltar down there. She's very, very placid in terms of how she flies. No major quirks or upsets here. Oh, there's some helipads on those cruise ships. We'll go down there and say hello. Wait, is that the tilty ship? Yeah, this is the road from the Bond film. You'll see it along there. Fantastic. There's a ship in dry dock down there. Two ships, including a tall ship. Nice details actually here with the new version of Gibraltar. Spain being over there. Alright, let's come down here. We've got one in front of us. I don't know if this is solid. We'll find out in a minute. We'll go to the one ahead of it here. I want to see what that cargo ship is. No major quirks. Obviously, the cargo release doesn't really do anything. There is a stabilization mode where you've got a rudimentary form of autopilot, which you can do by selecting once you're stabilized on the aircraft. You can click. And it seems to kind of automatically take over your current attitude. And wants to do bad things to me. No! I can't click the button. Thank God those are not solid. Yeah, you might want to release it if it's going to try and kill you like that. That's why I have crash damage turned off, because that would get awkward otherwise. I don't really know how to explain that situation. But, no. A stabilization function which does work if you are correctly stabilized. So if I'm up here and I set my rotor trim, like this, and she is currently stabilized, so if I get up here, these are mappable buttons, by the way, so it can actually, you can just adjust it slightly with our controller inputs, and it keeps it generally steady. The reef's being down there. Right, let's go put this on the deck, shall we? Right, let's bring her down a little bit. There's our ship's bow. And there's an obstruction from 12 o'clock, so we're going to have to come on from port or starboard beam. Would have been more appropriate to use the Wasp for landing on a ship's deck, but we'll work with the Scout. That is a very poor 3D model there. Oh. Stabilize myself on a better approach so I can actually see the pad. Okay. Come forwards here. Should be no major drama, but this I'm guessing is not going to be very solid. Okay, we'll come over the gunwales in a second. Yeah, I'm taking a wild stab. This is not going to be solid. We'll find out in a moment. Oh, it is. Ah, we landed. Above it. It counts. It counts. We landed above it. We're fine. We'll land on something a bit more solid, I think. Dry land. Head in this way. We'll land up on top of Gibraltar's rock. I like it. It's got a great visibility for a helicopter. It's simple. It's also a cheap helicopter. It's not particularly fast or high-powered. Of course, if we do end up with too much torque, then we can drop our throttle back manually. Never just mind just using the governor. It will override things generally. As we come up to the top here, we should be good. It looks well made. It functions. It's not getting major performance impacts, and overall, it's a pleasant little aircraft. The Wasp flies exactly the same, so I'm only showing you the Scout. But oh, Microsoft, the seesaw around the terrain differences there. Right, can I land on this rock? Okay. Will it let me land on the rock, or will I sink through it to my disappointment and your amusement? No, we landed on it. But in it. But on it, but in it. It's close enough, right? Whee! This is not advised. It's really not advised. Oh, God. We'll just put it back down at the airport. Might be safest. But there is a quick way down if you need it. Like I said, looks good, cheap price, fun, niche, being of course mostly used by the British Royal Navy and the Army Air Corps. No weapon options obviously, and I doubt we're going to see a add-on in the marketplace like some have done. Obviously marketplace aircraft can't have weapons, so... Ew, what's this? Obviously some developers like Demios include their weapon packs on flightsim.to. Being a famous flyer, I doubt we'll see... Sorry, local legend, I doubt we'll see that. So that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. I'm not going to overfly the cemetery. I shouldn't have done that in the first place. And we'll sit down here at Gibraltar Airport. Base, technically. Back where we started. There we go. And we're down. No major dramas with this aircraft. We'll shut down the fuel and our ignition. That's good to go there. Low pressure, high pressure. Probably shouldn't introduce the rotor brake yet, but it'll do the job, won't it? Everything's spooling down for us here. Is it worth the crack? Absolutely. It's a good little helicopter. It's fun. You'll get wind noise if you open the front doors, not if you open the rear doors. Otherwise, it looks fun, flies well, and I've repeated myself twice there. If you're interested, buy it. If you're not interested, don't buy it. Helicopters are niche. But this one's cool. And adorable. It's cute. And how many aircraft do you have with exposed engines? Very few.